We live. What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée. Another Sunday fun day, and this is the come up. We're gonna wait till everybody jumps in this thing before we get started. Bitcoin finally starting to pump. Shout out to the Profit Circle, man. We've been doing big things in the Profit Circle this week. This whole last week, I should say. We start a new week today. It's Sunday, but crypto week start on a Monday. We gotta say what's up to the chat. Matt's in the house. What's going on, Matt? Haven't seen Matt in a while. Oh, my favorite graphic. To the moon. But that's last week's. This week we sideways. So, you might, if you can hear the music in the background, we're still trading sideways. That's what's going on. Vote in the poll. I got a funny one in the poll, a fun one here. Will Dogecoin ever reach $1? So far, we got a couple of yeses in there. So shout out, we got Matt in the group, man. Let's get it, man. We got Blockchain Cowboy, FXHGA. Man, we got the Profit Circle in the house, y'all, and we've been doing well in the Profit Circle, man. I really got to give a lot of credit to the people who've been posting in there. Got real busy last week, and, I wonder why, right? Like, a lot of my predictions that have seemingly been bearish were really warning signs for people not to lose all their money, and fortunately or unfortunately, I've been right. And so, for everybody who's been kind of paying attention to what I'm saying, I know it ain't many on Twitter. I get about 2 likes on Twitter, but everybody in the Profit Circle, we're real traders, and I really love to say that. It's traders only in there. You come in there shilling or whatever, you just get banned. So check out the Profit Circle here, right here. First of all, nothing I say on this channel is financial advice. I got to say that. Do your own research, etc. But, I'm just telling you how I'm trading, what I see in the markets. And your boy Cassius Cuvée has been doing this for a long time. This is the Profit Circle General Chat. Over here, we've got the market analysis. You see people put the heat maps in there. I'm not the only one posting there, is the point of this. So I'm going to give a shout out later in the show to the people who really been vibing with the group. They've been doing a great job keeping it serious about trading for the most part. Have a little fun. That's all right. But we got a level system in here that I want to show you guys here. So we track in the Profit Circle who's engaging the most. And so, Matt, get back in there and start engaging, man, because you had a good score here. And we want to get what we're going to do is right now, I'm offering 1 year for free for the VIP side of things to become official wave maker. But I'm not going to do that for 1 year anymore. We're going to do it for 1 month here coming up at the end of this month. So for everybody who's in here, I got something special for y'all. So I'm gonna announce that a little bit later. This is the level tracker. So we can see, who's been leveling up, right? We got some new folks in there, Money Mike. I'm going to give a shout out to the people who've been asking me some serious questions. I made a really good video. I mean, in my opinion, it's an important video that I probably should have made a long time ago. Servanto in the house was popping, man. And I made a really good video that explains how the 5x leverage works in breakout prop. And that, to me, is very important because in breakout prop, price is going to move a lot faster on these two tickers right here, Bitcoin and Ethereum. 5x leverage, even if you're used to trading on a leverage platform, it's very important to know how that works on breakout prop. And, I was new to it at one point in time, too, and it took me some getting used to. And I made a video on YouTube that really actually shows it. This one right here. I want to play a little bit of it, just because it's better than I can even show it right here. I show the example of breakout prop versus Fimex, or it would be any other leverage platform. It's not like there's anything wrong with Fimex or the other platforms, but there's something unique about breakout prop. The way that it shows the actual position sizing here is not how leverage works if you are on a leverage trading platform. So this is really important, right? This is not my position. I don't have any open positions right now, but if I were to put Bitcoin and Ethereum, if I were to put five lots, right? First of all, you're going to notice something here. We're going to put it on limit here, and we're going to do a protection order. But 5 lots is actually equal to the price of 1 Ethereum because there's 5x leverage. It's kind of weird. The reason why this matters is because it doesn't show the actual value. Oh, let me see if I got to redo this. I don't know why it's not showing me here. Let me refresh. So here's another thing too about breakout prop. You do want to reload it every once in a while. If you haven't had it in a while, you got a lot of charts open, then what's going to happen is it's not going to show you the most update. It does lag a little bit, especially if you have like charts up here. I got 3 charts open. It's kind of a lot. So we want to see, this is what I was looking for right here. So basically about $4,000, right? Because it's trading right there in 5 lots. So the thing that matters is that this is your position size in breakout prop. But if this were in Fimex or something like that, it would be 5 times bigger. And so what the way it manifests, the way you actually see it is that your P&L will move 5 times faster. That's need to know information, okay, if you're new to breakout prop. So on YouTube, I made a video that kind of shows a good example of that. Is this one right here, my most recent video. I'm probably going to make some more videos coming up here. Breakout prop, what everyone gets wrong at first. And it really is, I kind of, it's not really a joke. The thumbnail, to me, it is my most important breakout prop video ever, because it's 5x leverage on the leverage, on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but on the altcoins, it's 2x leverage. That's significant when you're talking about Peanut or one of these small ass meme coins that I like to trade and stuff, because they give you that volatility. They're already moving 5 times as fast as like Bitcoin or something like that, right? But then when you add on 2x leverage on that, it's moving 10 times as fast. And when you're trading, your P&L is going to go way faster. So when I got like 100 grand, I don't need to use anywhere near that when trading some of those other tickers. So watch this video if you haven't watched it. Even if you're used to trading on breakout prop, you want to watch this video. I'm click on it right here. I just want to show you a lot of questions in my private group, the Profit Circle, about breakout prop. A lot of us use breakout prop. If you don't know what that is,
I want to fast forward to just the part where I showed the difference.
It's not charging me $5,000, $44.20.
So the way I compare
prop, same deal, right? I compare the actual, without even having to enter a trade, you can compare what your winnings would be based upon, your entry and exit in FIMX versus breakout prop, and you'll see it's the same amount of money, but the position itself is 5 times higher. And this is because the actual, when you do leverage, like you pay fees and everything on the position size, not the margin size. But on breakout prop, you don't see a difference. It's the same number in breakout prop. So you need to know that, like that because you're gonna be like, I don't see a difference. But then as soon as that big move comes in price, then you're going to see it, and then that might mess you up. So watch this video if you haven't watched it yet. I'm going to just go back one more time. As you can see it here. It's going to be the first video here on my channel here. Breakout prop, what everyone gets wrong. So if you're new to breakout prop, or even if you've been trading on it, this will give you, like, it shows the math, right? It shows the perspective. So anyways, I'm glad I made that video for anybody who's new. So shout out. That was someone new in the group, Money Mike. Money Mike asked me about that. I was actually out working out, and I was like, I was leaving recordings in the Profit Circle. And I ended up, I said, when I get back, I'm going to make a video on that. So I ended up making that one. So in the Profit Circle we got this here. I think he was asking in the general chat somewhere. This was days ago, 4 days ago or something, 4 or 5 days ago. But feel free to ask me questions. You got a legitimate question, I'm gonna address it. I'm going to try to make a video. I'm going to try to address it, Someone else asked me to in the group, Phantom, to go over my scalping strategy. So we will do the scalping strategy today. I did it live on Wednesday, I think it was. My prediction for this week was a wait and see. So I'll wait and see. So Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin, right? This is the 1 hour. We had the big, obvious, crazy move down here last Friday. And I was like, I want to wait and see what's going to happen. So here we go. Sunday, the weekend is this blue line here. This is CME gap. I wanted to see what would happen, right? So Monday, okay, we came up. Because basically I wanted to follow the NASDAQ. What the hell is going on here? NASDAQ's everything. I got this trading sideways beat in the background because price has been going sideways. But basically, I was watching the NASDAQ, and all the NASDAQ did was chop sideways for the week, basically. That's all it did. And I had a feeling that's what it'd do after a big move like that. And crypto kind of followed Bitcoin, except, of course, NASDAQ goes sideways, Bitcoin goes bearish. But it was Wednesday. I jumped in the Profit Circle. I said, I'm going to do the scalping, and it was here at the open. And, I kind of guessed right. It wasn't just a guess, obviously, but I shorted, and it worked. But not only that, I went over the scalping strategy that I have developed on my own. And so inside the Profit Circle private Discord group, over here on the left-hand side, the general chat, anybody can just jump in there right now. The link is right at the top. Anybody can go in there, right? Spammers or whoever. It's annoying. But if you want to become a verified wave maker, you get access to all the other groups over here. So that's the market analysis. That's the future trades. And again, it's not just me in the future trades. You got Blueberry, he's a heavy hitter. He's in there setting us up. Man, Blueberry is looking out for us. So, he's called these ones out. They're not all in breakout prop. That's where FIMX comes in. So the way you get access to this for free for 1 year, I'm only doing this for the rest of this month, and it's only going to be free for 1 month, is all you got to do is create a FIMX account using my invite code. So right here, GMMNX5, it's also a link in this video. You just create a FIMX account using my invite code. I get special bonuses and stuff because I'm a partner with them. I may earn a commission if you trade with them, but I need to disclose that, but it's nothing major. The point is, instead of paying to join the Profit Circle and be a official wave maker, save your money. I want you to trade. I want you to win. You can deposit into FIMX if you want, but use my invite code. Then after that, all you got to do is go to the verify channel and verify your user ID number. So even if you already have a FIMX account, you still got to create one with my FIMX code to get the free 1 year. You click verify, and the bot automatically verifies your account here. Then after that, you go to get free trial. It'll take you to WAP, and you'll see it'll say 365 days for free. Then you get all this over here, and that's where I'm looking at bullish tickers, bearish tickers. So shout out to someone who's been real active in the group lately. I'm gonna go through the list of everybody, but King Jackpot's been real active in the group. So shout out to him. He's leveling up quick on that leveler I showed you guys earlier. But one thing he called out this morning in the future trades, it was in the market analysis channel, was that Tau was going up, right? Tau's doing amazing, right? And I called that out. I think it was yesterday morning before I went to the gym. I called it out in I have a section here for the verified wave makers called bullish tickers and bearish tickers. These are tickers I go through, and as a recent price action, I'm going to show you which, like if you have a bullish bias or if you have a bearish bias, these tickers should outperform Bitcoin in that direction. That's basically what this means, right? So if you want a little more beta and a little less, trading fees, because you can use less money, we got the bearish tickers and we got the bullish tickers. So as you can see, I just called out yesterday at 6:54 a.m. I called out Tau was one of the bullish tickers, and sure enough, here we are today. He's like, Tau is outperforming. So I just want to call that out. I also called out the fact that I thought I didn't have real high conviction. That's the other thing I like about the Profit Circle, is that we're talking in real time, 7 days a week. So, as we were speaking yesterday, here's the weekend of the CME gap. I'm like, I don't have huge conviction one way or another. This sideways shit is like, to me, it's not really worth it to gamble on it, because I'm like, it could go. I even wrote this. It'll probably happen. You get a head fake down, and then it'll go the other way, or it'll go a head fake up and come back down. And sure enough, we got a little head fake down, and then boom, we shot up here now. Right now, we're getting that 1 hour red dot, which for me, if we were going to try to scalp this, now that we got that, I would zoom into the 10-minute since we're here. Oh, I should have entered here. So, man, all right. Well, if I was going to scalp it, if you guys were going to do the goal here on the top chat on the super chats, what I was going to do is scalp it in the direction that you asked me. But real quick, I'm late right now, so I don't even want to do this much. But if I was going to enter, let me go to breakout prop real quick so you guys can see. If I was going to enter a short here, that's what I would be doing if I was going to scalp. I would enter this short. I missed the first part of the move, which kind of fucks up the strategy a little bit. But let's just see if we can get something in there. Oops. We're not going to put 43,000 on it. Let's see. 0. I will say the lot shit is kind of annoying, because I have to go like this. Okay, so remember, if we put 4,000 on this, that would be 5 times as much as that. So I don't even want that much. Just I'm trying to give them a little example. I missed my entry here, to be honest with you. I would have wanted to enter exactly, if I pull up both, exactly when the 10-minute red dot appeared. So it wouldn't even be this candle. It would have been, you see I'm a little bit late right here. So that's why I hate doing it casually, because you want to watch. So I zoom into the 1 minute and see if we get a little reversal here for me to enter. You know what? I'll do it anyways. We'll just enter. We got a 1 hour red dot, which is good. I'll be entering a short because it's a red dot, right? Let me see. Kind of sucks. I'm not exactly on schedule. We're going to enter anyways. I want to see. All right, so we start the show with a scalp here on breakout prop Bitcoin short. And again, Bitcoin's not even my favorite ticker to short. This ain't the one, but we're doing it anyways, right here on the right-hand side. So entered it here. Now, this is the 1 minute chart on breakout prop is how I have that. So because I got it from Phantom in the Profit Circle. He asked me about scalping strategy. Might as well do it live here. So one thing I want to do, too, is I want to put on a stop loss just in case something crazy happens, right? Crazy shit happens. All right, so you can double-click it here. Where am I going to put my stop? Well, let me take a look back on, I jumped in this a little bit fast because I wasn't prepared. Normally, you should prepare. We're going to put it just above the last swing wick high, so 109,403, we'll call it. Let's see, just right now. So if something crazy happens, we'll be all right. Let's see, 109,403. I only lose $42. That ain't shit, right? So that's fine. Okay, so then we'll look over here. It's right above here. Now, let's say I want to give me just a little more wiggle room. You could just slide it up a little bit, right? This is more of like a sanity check. If something happens, if the internet goes down, I literally had the power go out of my house. You know what I'm saying? Like a fuse broke, or breakout prop goes right into right into maintenance or something like that. That's happened to me before. So I like to always have a stop loss as like a sanity check, okay? Just in case something crazy happens. In crypto or in trading, it happens. So you want to have something ready, all right? So looks like we got some new people here in the chat. What's going on, y'all? Oh, Phantom's in there. Here we go. All right. So let's see. Someone's new. Xavier. Looking at breakout prop, I haven't seen much on payouts. How is your feedback on it? How does it work? It's cool. So the payouts, they can do payouts every day on breakout prop. They have the on-demand payouts, so they're pretty straightforward. What I will always say is you can go to breakoutprop.com. They updated their website. I'm gonna show you real quick because they updated it, and their rules, they go into like the rules and shit in like more detail. So I like that. So like over here on the FAQs, well, the FAQs are one thing actually, but just to learn trading course, how it works, drawdown rules, I would read these. I really would. And I do have a video too, Xavier, on my YouTube channel. That's let me show you this one here. 2 videos that I think my two most recent videos on breakout prop, probably my 2 most important. This one here I just talked about, which explains the 5x leverage, which really matters because you fuck around and get breached if you don't understand why it's moving so fast. And then the 3 keys right here, these are kind of my strategies. But I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, the first strategy is, learn the rules because otherwise you'll get breached and not realize what happened. So and the other thing is start small, right? So, I did a little position here of, I got $100,000 and I just put only like $2,100. Oh, let me pull up breakout prop. And I only put like $2,100 on it. You know what I'm saying? Just start small. You get a feel for it, how it moves, and then you can slowly increase. So that's basically how that works. But obviously you can't get any payouts until after you pass the evaluation. So the most important thing is following the rules, because after you pass the evaluation, it's still the same rules. So whatever you did to pass the evaluation, don't like change your strategy hella much when once you get real money. Don't go crazy. Just stick to it. Whatever's the strategy, and just keep winning and withdrawing and winning and withdrawing. That's what you should probably do. And that, not financial advice. You do your own research. You can come up with your own strategies. But like my main whole thing about everything that I teach about trading, and I'm gonna zoom in here on me so you guys can see this. Like my main thing is to keep people from getting wrecked. Okay, like I've been in crypto for a long time. Right, I've been in crypto for a long time, and this is what's recently been going on. I'm growing out the Hollywood Hogan beard because it kind of pisses me off that crypto Twitter doesn't listen to me, but they make idiots go viral every day. And I'm like, I might turn into Hollywood Hogan. It's actually a long time coming, to be honest with you. But basically, crypto will break your heart. And I think I'm going to drop the music video next week, Crashing Waves. The song's been out if you guys haven't seen it yet. But the music video, I've been sitting on it. And it's about how meme coins basically killed alt season, and now we don't have Web3. And so basically, I don't want you to get wrecked. And in trading and investing, if you don't lose, I know it sounds crazy. I mean, it sounds obvious, but if you don't lose, you will win. And so my friend of mine, Flapping Grover calls me, he said, Cassius Cuvée. My name is Cassius Cuvée. He called me Cassius Cuvée. I'll own that name, because if we don't lose our money, if we don't get freaking wrecked, we can bat singles, or even what happens is you keep trading with the trend and eventually you catch a big win. And that's what happened last Friday, not the Friday just last, but when the big waterfall happened, Friday before last, I was trading with the trend. And my whole strategy here that has to do with momentum was like, if you see a 10-minute dot, don't fight the 10-minute dot. Trading with the trend. So even right now, when I jumped into this, let me go to trading view. The reason I jumped into this real quick, because I was like, I seen it. We've got the 1 hour red dot here. 1 hour red dot on Market Cipher B, right? This is just Bitcoin, right? And again, I wouldn't even normally short Bitcoin. I'd short something weaker from that bearish ticker list I talked about earlier in the prop circle. But I just seen it, and I just want to give you guys an example. So I jumped in it. We got the 1 hour red dot. So now I got the wind at my back, okay? Now, sure enough, if I had more time, I kind of jumped into it. I would prefer to have a couple more wins at my back. Appreciate you, Matt, with the super chat. Hey, Matt, and how you guys got to appreciate Matt. Matt is a real one, boy. Let me just tell you. I got to say, I got a lot of love for Matt right there. And he likes lyrics. I like people who like lyrics. Okay, but here's what I'm talking about. Trading with the trend, right? Now, this is something that, this bounce, I kind of predicted this bounce because kind of like enough's enough. Oh, there's one more thing. Very, very important. I talked about it yesterday, but I got to call it very important. Because that waterfall on Friday, what it exposed, I've been saying this whole entire year and last year, is that, see how this big-ass wick is here? This is very important. This is on Fimex, perpetual contract. I am trading on this ticker when I'm trading on Fimex. You should know which ticker you're trading on for which one you're going to do technical analysis on. That's very important. And the reason is very obvious. Now look at Bitcoin on Bitstamp. That's not here. Where's the wick? You see what I'm saying? So that big ass wick that came down, this wick only went down, and I can show you exactly what it went down to. right? So all you got to do is hover over a candle, and you see up here at the top. So when I hover over the candle, the low was 109,000. God damn, is that the wick? Is that the crash? That's all it went down? Oh, no. Yeah. So it only went down to 109,000 on spot BTC, 109,683. But over here on the FIMEX perpetual contracts, I mean, look at this. It went all the way down to 101,000. Let me get it right on. 101,500. That's huge difference. So for people who do their TA, are you doing TA on this wick here, right? If you're drawing trend lines and shit, are we drawing it like this, right? Or are we drawing it like this? Big fucking difference. I hope everyone is paying attention to this. Like, this matters. So this is why I always say, I mean, I just keep proven right here, man. This is why I get a little frustrated here. I be trying to help y'all not lose y'all money. This is the cake. This is the frosting. It ain't no birthday cake without cake. This is 80%. This is 20%. I'm going to die on that hill until someone gives me a reason to live otherwise. All right. If you notice, though, so this wick, way different. That wick is hella small, and this wick is hella big, right? But if you notice, look at market cipher B down here. On the momentum, these dots more or less look the same. If we go to the 8-hour, I made it a little more clear because we were talking about the 8-hour is my turning signal for when I think a trend is ending, kind of a weekly trend, 1 or 2 week trend I'm thinking is ending is usually on the 8-hour dot is what I'm looking at first. Then we're looking for the 12, maybe, we get that retracement, and then the one day comes in. So on the 8-hour, you can see that these dots all kind of look the same, whether it's this Bitcoin chart or this Bitcoin chart, right? They're all lined up essentially the same. But price is different. And that's why I keep saying, if you just do TA on price, what are you doing TA on? Price is not unpredictable. I mean, I'm not saying it's 0%. I'm saying it's 20%. So I'm saying, like, I need this to go first, and then I'll make sense of what's going on up here. But obviously, last Friday was an anomaly. The Friday before last was an anomaly. But that throws off your chart for God knows how long. Anytime you're trying to draw a trend line, are you drawing it from the bottom of this wick? Or are you drawing it from the bottom of this wick? Big fucking difference between 109,000 and 101,000, right? So these type of things are, like I said, I keep getting proven right, but I need anomalies like that day to happen, because here's the thing. It's very obviously noticeable on that last Friday, but in reality, there's small differences as well as you go through them. And just per anything in life, the farther out you go, the harder it is to predict the future. Now, you can see here on Bitcoin on this chart, I actually got kind of lucky. I won't call it luck. I mean, it was my intuition here, but I drew this line way back here in August, and I said, this is what might happen. And it's kind of what happened. It's just like the ebb and flow, And, that was based upon just kind of looking at the market cipher B waves, and just knowing crypto real well. So, this wasn't gospel. I didn't draw this line telling you I know that this is it and blah, 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 bet the farm on that. Hell no. I'm going to be a short-term trader. And also, too, guys, I do the show once a week, but I'm in the profit circle 7 days a week. So even if you had high conviction here or whatever at one point, things change in trading. The people who they say have high conviction, yeah, I'll have high conviction, and then when the information changes and the momentum changes, my conviction might change. And so the only way you're going to really stay up to that is by joining the profit circle and joining the conversation. And again, it's free to join, so you might as well do it. Especially so, I want to call out this. So here we go. This is what I'm going to do. For everybody who got in right now, right, for the official wave makers, they are free for 1 year, 365 days. I want to take a look at, I'm going to make a more specific announcement, but for the people who are real active in the group, I'm going to give you a free lifetime subscription, all right? I want to do that for everybody who's active, who's a contributor. And so what I'm going to do here is, in this section here, the way I'll determine that is by the level tracker. So pretty easy. I don't know the numbers yet. I haven't figured that. I haven't thought that far through yet. But here we are. Blueberry has reached level 26. So for sure, if you at level 25 or higher, you're going to get free lifetime. You feel me? That means you're a dedicated contributor. You know what I mean? Blockchain Cowboy. Okay, well, here we go. Blockchain Cowboy, he's dedicated 16, 26, pretty high. I don't know. I don't know what level yet, but we'll say just off the top of my head, level 15 or higher, you locked in for free for life. You feel me? So, stay active. King Jackpot already at level 7, so credit to him. You know what I mean? Get you above 15 by the end of this month. Stay active and you'll be there. You feel me? And everybody who's active in there, you're going to get the free lifetime. And then probably by next month, for free 1 year will just turn into free for 1 month. and we're going to push forward from there. But you know what I'm saying? This ain't about trying to take advantage of nobody. I want the people who are the contributing wave makers, I want to make sure that they, you know, they feel rewarded and they can continue to contribute because they're doing a great job. And so, you know, that's how I'm going to run that. But anyway, back to the chart. I just want to call that out because I got a lot of people in there, some new folks, and they're asking good questions. They're giving their great input. Another person who was giving some great input was Moretto always does. Rush Go X was a new member in there, and he's been giving some great input. I think he's the one who put in the actually put in the heat map this time. Blueberry had been giving us the heat map. So the way the heat map works is that there's different time frames. So if you guys don't mind, help me out. Call out what time frame you're referring to whenever you put in the heat map, because that it does matter. This right here, the heat map. Put in what time frame if you can't. I don't know if we can see it on this one. I didn't get a chance to look at it closely, but yeah, put in the time frame because it does matter actually. What it will look different. The thing about me, I look at this, but I can't trade off of it. I get where it's like, well, price is likely to do this or likely to do that based upon what we think market makers might do. But literally, that doesn't tell me when to enter and exit. And my whole entire thing when it comes to trading is make trading simple. So for me, my approach has been, sure, I look at all this stuff because I'm a junkie, right? I look at all this stuff. But for me, I cut out as much of the noise as possible, and I'm down here on market side for B first. That's me. I'm looking here first. And today, Blueberry mentioned top-down analysis, right? You know, you look at your daily, you look at your 8-hour, you look at your 4-hour, draw your support and resistance. You know, if I'm on this is the Bitcoin chart. I draw all the lines. I was like, I got way more lines on this chart, way more lines, right? We go way down. But I like to keep a clean chart, which is the Bitstamp. So I only have a few key levels of support and resistance on here. I think I have 100 and I've got the 72 from way back. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it for me. So now I'm looking here. I've got Houston. We have a problem. Bitcoin 1 hour dot is no longer there. Or were we looking at this one here? This is the prime example. Okay, here we go. Prime example, right? What are we trading on? Because Bitcoin on the Bitstamp 1 hour doesn't have a red dot, but on the perpetual contracts on FIMEX, it does. So you do got to be wary of that. Like, what are we trading on? Now, do I think one will appear on this one? Probably. It probably will appear. But you got to be conscious of what chart you're actually doing your technical analysis on, because things might actually be different. They might actually be different. And or this. You start knowing how the price action moves. Like, what if you know that the FIMEX perp contracts likes to front run this a little bit, right? Then that gives you a clue. Then you're like, oh, this red dot on the 1 hour is going to come on this. That can give you a clue as well. On the weekends or after hours, I should say, not on the weekends, I look at the NASDAQ futures, but this is the problem with this ticker, the NQ1 exclamation point. I agree you should look at it after hours because it gives you like a clue of what the NASDAQ doing after hours, but it's lagged by like 20 minutes or something, which is whack. So like when the session's open, I'm just looking at the QQQ. Matt, what you got here? So the heat map's looking good right now, not just below weekly. Bro, my first few months of trading, I was using the totally wrong chart. Burned me bad. Yeah. And listen, we all been there, you guys. We all been burned, right? Everything I'm telling you is because I done fucked up before. Okay? I'm keeping it real. I've messed up before too, right? So that's why I say my passion is to keep you guys from getting wrecked. You feel me? Definitely keep you guys from getting wrecked because crypto will break your heart. That's why I started with the show. And that's what the song Crashing Waves is about. I'm going to release the music video next week. You feel me? Crashing Waves is about crypto breaking your heart. And, but you turn lemons into lemonade, and that's what it's all about. We're gonna make money now that we learn, okay, how this moves. What I don't get, and I've been posting a lot about this past week on Twitter, is the people acting like Charlie Brown in the football, you know, trying to kick the football, and she keep pulling it away. Like, how do you guys keep falling for the same mistakes over and over again? One rug pull after another, new hype coin this week. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Y'all fall for the same mistakes on crypto Twitter. I don't get it. Stop blindly following KOLs, y'all. Even me, whoever. Stop blindly following them. Me, I give my thought process update in real time in the profit circle, but like these people just change their minds or what they really do. I'm really exposing the game right now. I'm Hollywood Hogan shit. My bad, bro. But like, look, if you a macro, especially if you a macro, analyst, it takes 6 months to find out if you were right or wrong, right? So all they do is make 10,000 predictions between those 6 months in a moving 6 months. And then anytime one of them eventually comes true, they just go back and cherry pick the one that came true and say, see, I told you I was right. Like, I can't make no money off that. You know what I'm saying? I can't make no money off that. So in the profit circle, we in there daily, weekly. I did my whole scalping strategy in real time on Wednesday, and it's like I'm giving you in the real time. And if we were bullish and we turn bearish, you're gonna see that too in real time. You feel me? One thing I like about Blueberry as a trader is his conviction will change if the momentum changes. He's like, oh, we're gonna reverse that. And same with me. I'm like, this is how it's looking right now. I called this bounce in Bitcoin right here because enough was enough. But also when I was telling Blockchain Cowboy in the group, I was telling him that these right here, these two 8-hour green dots. Remember, 8-hour green dot is 8-hour dot, I should say, is my sign of a reverse, especially a deep one like this. 8-hour wave below the 60 line is like, okay. But it's not usually the first one. And I was right in this case. It was the second one, right? You get the little retrace. This was like probably the bottom. Plus, I saw this long wick, especially if we looked at it on this one, right? Which didn't have the Friday wick, right? From the perp contract. So I was like, that's a long wick. So it was somewhere here yesterday when I was like, I don't know. I have a bullish bias. I think it was like 6 a.m. yesterday. And I was like, for me, if you're going short here, not that I don't think longer term, I think we're going to get another drop because I'm looking at the monthly and stuff. But I'm like, right now, Bitcoin's kind of due for a bounce. And then sure enough, we got one today because I was like, this next 8-hour green dot's coming. It comes. And I'm like, okay, like now it's about time. And sure enough, now we got a 12-hour green dot. Will we get the daily green dot today? Potentially so. Day ain't over yet, but potentially so. And, you can get a bigger move on a daily green dot, right? So it's not that I'm saying go long here. What I was saying is be cautious going short. Have a tight stop loss. That was kind of my main point of saying that. Because when I see this sideways shit, I don't have a high enough conviction to go either direction. I like to zoom in and be careful, right? And even now, right, where I'm on this breakout prop scalp, I started it right at the beginning. I mean, we'll see if this scalp works, right? I'm right at, minus $5, basically break even, basically is what that is. And we'll see what happens. Let's take one more look at that real quick, right? Real quick. And funny thing is I did it on the FIMX, which is not breakout prop. So the FIMX chart is not the same chart as breakout prop. If you ask breakout prop customer service in their bot will answer your question, they will tell you usually what ticker is the one that you want to have on your chart. OKX is the one that they usually say. But sometimes if it's a real small ticker, they might say Bybit. That was the last time I checked, at least. So check again. Don't hesitate. It's in your dashboard. All you got to do is just go on there, and the bot, their AI bot will usually answer most of the questions. If you do got to talk to somebody, it usually doesn't take very long. So that's man. That's a good one to know because that one. Any questions? I mean, everything I learned about how to navigate when I made all those navigation videos on my YouTube channel, it's because I would get stuck and I'd be like, "How the hell you do this?" And I would just go talk to customer support. So you guys can do that too. I just made the videos to try to help folks out because then you get to see it in real time. And some of the questions customer support actually didn't know the answer to right away. I had to go back and forth with the guy about trying to figure out. So you see how these crosshairs pop up? I like that. But what happens is on breakout prop when you add another chart, the crosshairs. See how I got no crosshairs? And we couldn't figure out, this was right after they did their update too. So I'm talking with the customer support guy. We couldn't figure out how to do this. So then over here is the settings, but you see how you can't even see how the settings disappear? I had to open this up, click on this, and there was crosshairs unchecked. I don't know why the default is unchecked when you add a new chart. Silly shit like that is not a big deal, but I need those crosshairs because I'm like trying to be precise. This is the 1 minute chart. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of shit happens. And then a lot of the main one is the lagging. You don't want too many charts open. I'll probably close this TON chart. Just have two charts. Really, one is what they're going to recommend doing the default. I don't like their default though. I want mine. So the biggest difference maker I always noticed was how many charts were open. And then you got to keep, refresh. I mean, if you're about to make some moves and breakout prop quick, refresh first. Refresh first, and then you'll be ready. All right, so look, the trade's going my way now, right? A little scared. They're not really a scare, but a little bit. It went against me a little bit. Remember, I was late, though. I probably would have, could have, should have entered about right here. It's hard to say in hindsight exactly when this red dot will occur, when it actually is going to occur, right on the 10-minute. It happened in hindsight. I know I entered on this candle, which I knew wasn't the correct candle. I was a candle late. But somewhere in this drop, the red dot appeared. I don't know where. So, who was it who asked me? Phantom asked me about that. If you listen to Phantom, just so you know, for the scalping strategy, you got to be watching. You know what I'm saying? First, we got the 1 hour, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into the 10-minute, and then you got to watch. And the moment, you're not waiting for the candle close. The moment that dot appears is where I'm entering the trade, or in this case, the short. So that's what happened. So here we are. I'm technically green on it, basically break even on it right now. But we're gonna stay in it. Essentially, then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna stay in this trade until it starts to go against me. And what does go against me mean? That means that the 10-minute wave gets a green dot. Now, that being said, you can get out a little early if something crazy is starting to happen, but 10-minute is the general rule of thumb. The main reason why I picked 10-minute is because I don't want to fight a 10-minute dot. At some point, you got to say enough's enough. Like, if it goes against you on a 10-minute dot, it's not worth it because something crazy might happen. In fact, I'll show you an example. When I traded Ethereum on Wednesday, that was the example I wanted to show you guys. It was the Ethereum trade on Wednesday. Let me go back. Let's see here if I can go back to Ethereum trade on Wednesday because I did it freaking perfectly. That's why I drew these lines, and I was like, okay, Ethereum pumped right here. Yeah, this pump came, and I was like, man, this shit seems fake to me. And so, we caught the 1 hour red dot. So let's see them. Zoomed in. Let me go back. And then a 10-minute red dot came here. Boom, caught the move down. Let me see here. Was that the one? This is Wednesday at 1 a.m. 2 a.m. No. It wasn't that one. It was here. Here it was. Here. So it already started its way down here, and it was this pump here. This was at the open, right? Let's see. Yeah, 7:10 a.m. So it made this pump at the open, right? 6:30 is right here or so. And then that was where, but it already had a red dot on the hourly, and then I entered here. Excuse me. This was 6:30. I entered here. I got out here because this green dot came. Then this rolled over, and I probably could have went in again, but then this red dot again came, and then you could ride it all the way down to here. That's a big move when you're talking about your $100,000 account or whatever. So that's all it really takes. And then after that, you can just ride it back down here again, and you get out when the green dot comes against you. That's essentially it. Now, if you zoom in, I hate how trading does that. It's going to kick me all the way back. But if you zoom into like the 5-minute dot is going to appear before the actual 10-minute dot. So right now, like for example, let's just actually look at Bitcoin because I'm in this trade right now. So 5-minute dot on Bitcoin is doing what for me right now? Let's see. So right now, we don't have a 5-minute green dot yet. So what I'm doing is once I'm in the trade, right, I don't need to look at the 10-minute anymore. I'm zooming to the 5-minute, 3-minute, 1 minute, right? So the 1 minute is going to come first. We don't have a 1-minute dot here, and I've got these two screens. Basically, I can see both of these at the same time, but you guys can't really see it that well. So you see it down here. You see price starting to go up on the 1 minute. But on TradingView, I really just need to look at TradingView, and I can see that we got a 1 minute green dot. Well, what's going to come next? And now the 3-minute dot is going to come next. And it's going to come soon, probably just by looking at this price action. If the 3-minute comes, then the 5-minute is going to come next. If the 5-minute comes, then I know the 10-minute is probably going to come next unless this was just a temporary bounce. If it's a temporary bounce, you can be patient and wait. If the 10-minute never comes, then price might continue to roll over and continue to go on down, and that's my green. So, sometimes you got to be patient and trust the system, basically. Slave to the system, you master the money. That's basically it. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's rocking with me. Please like the video, share it, and all that kind of stuff. Vote in the poll as well. You know what I'm saying? We got the poll up here. Will Dogecoin ever reach $1? That's what I'm asking in the poll. Everybody forgot Dogecoin exists, I think, because Dogecoin is one of those ones that's kind of a retail sentiment test. You know what I'm saying? You surprised I shorted? Well, I don't generally short Bitcoin, Kalichi. I saw it up here on the charts, and I was like, I saw that 1 hour red dot, and I was like, yeah, exactly. Normally I would short one of these shit coins, APT or Moondeg or something. You're absolutely right. I just had it up here, and I was like, I was going to short later in the show, but that's what always happens. I miss my entry when I'm in the show, and then I don't get to call out the short. I don't get to show you guys the strategy, and I saw the opportunity, so I took it. It's fine. No big deal. But yes, in general, the reason why I want to short a weaker ticker is because they're going to outperform to the downside. So then, like, for example, we're getting this little bounce right here. There's a good chance that it probably didn't bounce big. As a matter of fact, let's take a look, right? Let's take a look. What did APT do? Let's just see if that happened, right? Let's see APT. Okay, well, APT turned out to be a little more bullish, actually, in Bitcoin. If you look at it like this, right? Let's see. Oh, but see, it already made a bigger move down first. So sometimes that happens, right? So when I say relatively bullish or bearish, it does matter on what time frame, right? But Bitcoin, see, since 10 a.m. here's 10 a.m., right? Bitcoin's been more up than APT. since 10 a.m. So technically, APT has been more bearish. However, in the last few minutes, right, since 11:30, well, it's about trending Bitcoin. This was it's a more volatile, right? So when it caught its little bounce, it caught it a little bit stronger than Bitcoin, but this had a bigger candle here. Kind of food for thought. If we look at it literally on the current 1 minute candle, that's when we're super zoomed in here, right? We're like, okay, well, what is it doing right now compared to Bitcoin, right? So right now, so I literally will do this. I will look at the exact ticker, except normally I'd be trading this one and not this one. I'll find one that's moving bearish compared to Bitcoin. So I'm looking at 3 green candles up in the last minute and 1 red one go down. Bitcoin has been relatively more bearish in the last, 5 minutes. It doesn't, that could kind of change, you feel me? But I'm looking at that. When I'm scalping and you got a lot of money on the line, I want to know if something's trending bullish or bearish to the larger market. So again, I don't usually short Bitcoin. I really don't. But it's not looking like a terrible short right now. Look, this is actually kind of catching up here, right? So you see this nice long wick here in the 1 minute looks like a good reversal sign. It's just the 1 minute, you guys. It's not that big of a deal, but that's what I'm looking for, right? So now we're heading down. Actually, I could argue that this is actually more bearish. This candle is now lower than the candle before it, and Bitcoin's not, right? So on this 2 minute arc, it's more bearish. How much the stop loss? It was like $45, bro. It wasn't that big. Let me double check it. 46.84. I didn't do a big position right here, so not real big. But the TA was cool. So like my risk to reward is not bad because it was like here. I'll put it like, it was just like right above. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get this here. So Kalichi, it was like right here. It was like right above. This is on the 1 hour, right above the swing wick high. So that's a pretty tight stop. This is the 10 minute. Not that tough. And then here I can show you here. It's just right here. You know what I'm saying? So like if it wants to go higher and I'm invalidated, I don't really lose that much, you see? But now on the way down, I'm going to ride it until I'm going to ride it until the 10 minute comes. I'll get out. But then we'll still be in the 1 hour trend. So then it's like I'm selling the rips and I'm not buying the dips. I'm exiting on the dips and I'm selling the rips basically. So what happens is the 10 minute will roll. We'll go back to the 10 minute. The 10 minute will roll over, right? So here we're looking at marks. It'll be the 10 minute roll over. We'll get a dot here. We're trying to get out at the bottom of this, right? But then it'll continue the downtrend because the 1 hour is the larger trend, and then we enter back in right here. That's essentially the scalping strategy in a nutshell, Phantom. Since you asked me that in the private group. So this is what we're doing right now, and we're gonna let it go for the rest of the show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I pretty much covered everything I needed to cover. My main thing was proving that the price chart is not where you should be doing TA, and that was clearly proven by last Friday because this chart, the FIMEX perp contract and Binance and all these other ones right here, this wick went all the way down to 101,500, but on Bitstamp, it only went down to 109,000. So where are you doing your TA? It will now matter because the chart's history is going to look significantly different. If you're drawing support and resistance or VWAPs or whatever the hell you're drawing, that big ass wick on Friday will kind of mess up your numbers. So that's need to know information. Now, so for me, just for the longer term strategy, what do I think Bitcoin's going to do? Well, it did what I thought it would do last week, which is basically sideways. That's why I got the trading sideways beat in the background here. Put this on. But I had a feeling that it would break to the upside, and that's what it's doing right now, a bounce. But this is not the biggest bounce in the world. But again, you guys, weekend action is always risky. We were talking about it yesterday real quick. It's like weekends are the worst day. Saturday is the worst day to trade. You never really know, right? Bitcoin will do this, but if you're trading altcoins, one will do some crazy spike out of nowhere, and there's no way to really predict that. And then you could try to short it, but then it's like at the top, but then it's like, okay, well, where the hell is the top? And I gotta say too, in the Future Trades channel, when we call out these, Blueberry is always finding great gems here in the Future Trades channel. He calls them out. Most of these you have to trade on FIMEX or your leverage trading platform, but he does a good job of finding ones that aren't necessarily the number one ticker. And this is important. And I'm just telling you this from experience, you guys. So when you like to short, if you want to be an opportunist in short one of these tickers that pumps for no reason, basically a little mini short squeeze or something like that, it's good not to try to pick the single strongest ticker, not the top three, because what happens is those get on, or one that's gone 100% or some crazy number, those get on all of the front pages of all the exchanges, all of the, all the people who aren't serious traders see them at the end of their work day or whatever, and then they chase. And then they'll chase all the way to the next day. I call it usually you get about 48 hours maybe. You might get 2 full days of them chasing before it falls off that page, right? Because a new day comes at 5 p.m. my time, and then, it moved 100% yesterday, but today it only moved 5%. You know what I'm saying? So now it's not, I go wait one more day, and now it's off the list. So all those people who chase everything, chase every trend are not going to be there anymore after 2 days. But they will be there the first day. So it's wise not to try to short too early, because something will squeeze and just keep on going, even though you're in. And when you're shorting, you really want to have a tight stop loss, especially on a short squeeze, because it could just blow up in your, you don't get the benefit. You get more benefit going long than going short, right? Something could 10x going long and you make 10 times the money. But on the way back down, you can't get 10 times the money. You can only short. I mean, obviously you can use leverage to get bigger, but the move is only going to be, 100% max on the way down. So you really got to be careful trying to short those squeezes, and have tight stop loss or tight conviction or whatever you're waiting for, whether it be a red dot on the 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, that kind of stuff. Can we get some CZ roasting? Yeah, I mean, oh, real quick, Matt said, yeah, bro dropped 2 to 3 coins in the chat, and I made money on all those tickers. Exactly. Blueberry dropped a hell of a lot more than 2 to 3, and I made money on more than hell. The main thing is it's daily too, you guys. We're in there every day. There's a trade every single day in the profit circle. Every single day. You feel me? Somebody got something. It ain't just me, right? It ain't even just Blueberry. We got other folks in there too. This one here. You know what I'm saying? I posted that one. So, check it out. If you're only in the general chat, it's free for 1 year right now to join the profit circle, GMN and X5. Come up here and verify, and then you get to be you get access to all the other channels. You'll verify here after you create your Femex account. Boom, put it in there, and you'll go to get free trial, and you'll get 1 year for free through WAP. So just do that, and then you get access to everything. It takes 5 minutes less probably. And then we got the market analysis channel, which is I'm going to wake up and I'm going to post my thoughts in there every day. So Blueberry, who you got? So you got the 6-month liquidations. That's why I said time frame matters, and of course what ticker matters, obviously. I don't know. This is interesting to me. When I look at this, I'm gonna be honest. I look at this and I'm like, I don't know what the hell Bitcoin's going to do. I'm still where I am right now, which is kind of no man's land. If you don't have high conviction, you don't got to trade a swing trade. But I would do, if I was going to trade, I'm going to do scalping, which is what I chose to do. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I did during the week. So far, I'm winning, up $17. Woohoo! Woo! Right here, over here on Bitcoin. And the strategy is working, right? I mean, that's the reason I want to enter this when I first seen it. Kalichi and everybody, Phantom who's watching, because I didn't know if it was going to start. I don't want to start the trade now, right? I would have missed it. So that's why I didn't want to wait till the end of the show. So I jumped in it. I did have the super chat though. If everybody, it's going to end in 1 minute, but if everyone had gave me enough super chats, then I'll trade in whatever direction you want. Because that's how confident I am. I'm going to tell you right now. That's how confident I am in the scalping strategy. That even if I'm going counter trend to the larger trend, because I'm scalping still with the trend on the 1 hour, then I can go in any direction as long as I'm not fighting a 10-minute. It's not going to blow up in my face in less than 10 minutes. If you want to get in and out on less than 10 minutes, that's probably fine. Front run it a little bit. That's fine. I just don't want to hold longer than 10 minutes because weird spikes will happen. It was Ethereum earlier this week. And I was like, you guys, I don't know. Ethereum, it was this move right here. Let me come back. It was this move right here, I think. Thursday, I think it was. It was this move or this move. And I was like, don't fight the 10-minute day. Yeah, it was this one. Because I was like, there's a 10-minute dot that came here. And I was like, boom, it's going to shoot up here. It's one of these. And maybe it wasn't this one. This is 2 a.m. Maybe it wasn't this one. But maybe it was this one. And I was like, I don't want to fight the dot because boom, it's going to punch right back up again. Thursday. And then boom. But we caught the red dot down. Don't try to fight that one. Don't go long here. You know what I'm saying? And brrr, came all the way down. I think it was this one. And that's when I was like, yeah, actually, this must be the one I traded. Because it was right here. And is this the open? Yeah, this is the open. This is the one I traded. All the way down here. Don't fight the 10-minute green dot. Got out. And intuition told me I could have got back in here, but I wanted to wait just in case it went higher. But it didn't. It went here. Got the red dot. Brrr, all the way down here. That's a big move in breakout prop. That's a pretty big move. And then we didn't take the hit on this move. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like fighting this. whatever direction you're going with, you stay with it. But if the 10-minute comes, got to get out. If you want to try to cheat ahead, you can on 5-minute. But what happens is, what if the 5-minute becomes a false positive? Now you're out of the system. Now you're out. You got a decision to make that wasn't built into the system. That's the downside of that. I always say you got to learn the rules of trading before you can break the rules of trading. But like, even when I break the rules of trading, it's still risky, because then you got to know, okay, now what do you do if you're wrong then? Whereas before, the system would tell me what to do. Now I have to make another decision if I'm wrong, right? So, that's just kind of a thing. You're going to get your own intuition and your own spin on the system. If you want it, that's fine. But that's what you run into if you fall outside of the system, is now you have additional decisions to make that aren't, unless you thought them through, if this, then this, a whole bunch of times, you're not going to know what to do. So CZ roasting. Okay, so one big, fat, gigantic, I told you so about CZ. I'll extend it to all the billionaires who own centralized exchanges and centralized banks and centralized everything. We know what their motivation is. They're in it to make money. And I'm not even here to tell you what's a good or bad. I'm telling you what is. And you need to do what's best for you, especially with trading. The one thing I love about trading is that it's pure. I call it honest greed. Everyone is here for the same reason. There's no pretend like there's some ulterior motive here. We're trying to win the trade and make as much money as we can per trade. It's kind of like golf. Every other sport, they have like a winning record. But in golf, they go, who's on the money board leader? They don't care. In golf, just go, who made the most money? That's who's number one. You got to respect it. Like you're just being honest about it. You know what I mean? It's like so-and-so's on a losing basketball team, but he's got the number one contract in the NBA. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, golf, who made the most money? And that's what trading is. It's real. It's honest greed. Who we know what we're here for. I'm not, man, I'm going to pay you back on Friday, get a 2-for-1 deal. You the homie on hookup, but man, I'll get you back next week. None of that shit. The deal is executed at the time it's made. There's no net 30. There's none of that shit. So it's honest greed. Okay, it is what it is. And so because we know what it is, like there's no lying in trading. You know what I'm saying? There's no lying here. And that matters. So it's like, be realistic. You know what I'm saying? CZ is the head of a centralized exchange that's trying to make as much money off of it as he possibly can. And, the idea that they don't launder money or something is obviously absurd, because anybody who's ever got their wallet hacked, you could just trace it on the blockchain right back to Binance. It's always Binance. And so, I don't know why anybody ever thought he was your friend just because he liked Bitcoin. I don't get it. Brian Armstrong, you think Coinbase is on your side? Give me a break. I mean, that's the thing. They want to talk about international exchanges scamming people. Coinbase is publicly traded. How many stories you heard there? People get their money stuck and can't get their money off, and frozen accounts and all that shit for years and stuff. The only way to really fight all this is to diversify. Don't keep all your money on any one exchange, any one bank account. You make money, you pull it out, you spread it around, turn some into fiat, put some in crypto wallets, do whatever you can. Shout out Blockchain Cowboy with the big premium chat here. Let me like that right there. Appreciate you, Blockchain Cowboy. My man's in the house. Every pump they say shut down. Yeah, right. It's funny too, man. Yeah. Why is it always manipulation only when price goes against you? It's never manipulation when it pumped in the first place, right? It's like manipulation works in both ways, the pump and then also the dump, okay? So my job is to try to work with the momentum on a short enough time frame that I bet with the scammers. I don't know what to tell you. I can't control how they're going to scam the coin, but when I see these squeezes that come out of nowhere on some of these shit coins, I'm like, bruh, they're gonna pull a rug. Just short it on the way back down. I can't tell you what's going to pump, but there's plenty of coins I can tell you are going to dump. And that's where I kind of developed the Wile E. Coyote strategy in the first place, because what happens is something gets above its skis and everything else dumps, and this is standing here like, oh, and it's only a matter of time before that happens. You feel me? So, that's pretty much it. Now, Breakout Prop, I got to say also I'm a partner with Breakout Prop, so this is a discount code at the top here, GGRF7W. If you're new to Breakout Prop, use that code. It'll save you a couple % or something on the evaluation. Now, Breakout Prop had some updates as well on Breakout Prop where they got different program pro or turbo and shit. I have not tried those yet because I'm, you kind of I don't want to have so many accounts open at once. I got more than one already. And so basically, if you want to try them, give me some feedback in the general chat, in the Profit Circle. Let us know how they worked. Just from reading them, I like the classic one better, personally. Maybe I'm just used to it. I don't know, but it's kind of straightforward. I know it depends on your trading style. Some people, they can't help themselves. They want a YOLO, right? They want to get an account, 100K, one trade, 5X. It's $500,000 worth of Bitcoin, all in one trade, and I'm trying to pass this eval by the end of the night. Listen, you could do that if you want to in breakout prop. $100,000 of Bitcoin is worth 500 grand. I got $125,000 on here. What's 5 times 125,000? That's 625,000. I got over $600,000 of buying power on Bitcoin if I wanted to use it right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. And you could just, this is not an evaluation, but you could make hella money in a short amount of time. The problem, of course, with that is if it goes against you, minus 4% in one day, you're going to get breached. So you got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Hola, how's it going? We got Steve in the house. Steve Hickey. How's it going, man? Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I'm debating for months for signing up for Breakout. Just never believed in the idea of prop firms, not to hate, of course. Yeah, I mean, well, Matt, you could start small or start on whatever. I mean, I don't like to start on the smaller accounts, to be honest with you. I like to start on the 100K account and then just use a small amount of money because I don't want to get breached. You know what I'm saying? Because then it kind of sucks. Like you're in the flow of things, you get breached because of one mistake. I hate that. And what happens is whenever you start on a small account, $10,000 account, because it ain't no money, you don't need like $100. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, man. And then you win a couple. You're like, oh, no, up it to $500. Man, I'm up it to $1,000. And before you know it, you're using 10, 20, 30, 40% of your portfolio, and one false move and you get breached. So I like to start on 100K if I'm going to start a new one, and then I'll still do a $100 trade, a $200 trade. But then when I move to 1,000, I'm still only using 1%. So that's kind of how I like to approach it, is start a bigger account and then just do a smaller amount of money. That's my preference for breakout prop. But also, Matt, watch the videos on my YouTube channel. I got to say, I really do believe this is the most important breakout prop video I ever made because it explains and it shows. I'm going to show it one more time. I showed it at the beginning.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius
Cuvée.
Later.
This has got to be the... I'm showing this compared
because of the 5X
to
leverage.
I want to show you.
It's $45.
It's not a very long video, but
1X leverage up here. But
it shows you how much you're going to win.
$44. This is only $1,000, and the it's not the commission. I'm sorry. The profit was $45. Profit was $45 on here, $44.20, and here it was $45. So basically, that there's 5X leverage built in on this Bitcoin, and you're going to get charged out on the commission. So that's what this video explains, that because the commission is based upon your position size, not your margin size. But on breakout prop, your margin and commit, you don't see the difference because it's built-in leverage on here. It's built in, so you don't see the difference. When you open up this position right here, Bitcoin, it just shows me a position of 2,100. But in reality, like if this was FIMEX, that would be 5 times as much. That would be 10,000. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to emphasize on that video. And anybody who's doing a breakout prop, I don't give a damn how experienced you are at trading. It takes some getting used to that because you don't notice it until you see your P&L moving hella fast. So that's what I'm trying to show you guys in that video. There's no substitute for experience. I say this all the time. An hour in the field is worth 20 in the classroom. So, I suggest that you read the rules and all that kind of stuff. You watch my videos on YouTube and that kind of stuff because I have other tutorials and just like walkthroughs and stuff on how to actually navigate the breakout prop platform. You might have to get used to that because it's not the most user-friendly thing in the world. So, as you go down, you'll see these ones that look like this and breakout prop, these thumbnails. These are all just like different tutorials and walkthroughs. These orange ones right here that kind of just show you how to just navigate the breakout prop trading terminal. I made a bunch of those a long time ago. That hasn't changed much, if any. And this one is kind of strategy, 3 keys to passing it, things that I wish I knew when I first started. And this one explains the 5X leverage, why I think it's so important. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today, man. I didn't play any music videos today, but you know what? So I'm going to tell you this. Next week, this is the Come Up With Your Boy Cassius Cuvée, as always. Next week, to the moon. We'll see what happens this week. I'm not very bullish on the week, but kind of felt I knew we were going to get this bounce today. I just knew it was coming. I just don't know how big it's going to be yet. But next week, I'm dropping the music video for Crashing Waves on my YouTube channel. It's my favorite crypto music video I ever made. I filmed it in Hawaii. I could have released it back then because I knew what was going to happen in the markets. I knew these altcoins weren't going to happen. I knew we weren't going to get a real alt season. I hate to say it, but I knew it. And so I made this video. The song I put out way back then in May or June or whenever, but the music video, I have not released it yet. It's a banger. It's a banger. It's a vibe. So, it's about heartbreak, but turning lemons into lemonade. And, you know what I mean? Once I saw what was going on this cycle over a year and a half ago, I said, you know what? You want to hold memes? Fine. Hold my fucking beer, if you want to trade memes. So, that's what the song is about. This music video and this song is the bookend to
Imaginary Traders, which I put out on originally on the Market Cypher Trader Spotlight. Flap and Groper interviewed me for the Market Cypher YouTube channel, and I did the rap, which is about this is a trader's cycle. I don't believe in Santa Claus, so none of this shit's going to the moon. So basically, we're going to trade, and we're going to make up for you in both directions. We're going to trade, and now that everything kind of proved that I was right, of course, the bookend to that is crashing waves. So look for that video. I'm going to release it on next Sunday right before the show. So, you know what I'm saying? That's where we are right now. And any other questions? Let's see right here. I appreciate that, Kalichi, on the stream right there. Yeah, it's your favorite too. Right on, Matt. Yeah. Okay, I believe in breakout for sure. Just the idea of using prop firm money never caught me. But, hey, better not. Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. I tell everybody, 6 on one hand, half a dozen on another, right? Whatever's better for you. Some people, I'm going to tell you this, Matt. Some people, because their discipline struggles, and I've even had this happen to me before, you end up losing. When you lose, you end up losing way more money on a regular trading because it's like your money. The biggest upside about a prop firm is that your risk is predetermined. When you purchase that evaluation, you cannot lose any more money than what you spent on that evaluation. So I can go negative 6,000 over here on breakout prop, but I still only lost the money that was already spent on the eval. So that is why a prop firm is appealing to many people. You have a job, you make X amount of dollars a month, and you're like, okay, I can set aside $1,000 to buy this prop firm, and I know that I won't go broke. I know I won't lose my life savings. My worst case scenario is money I've already spent. That's the upside. That's the main upside. The other upside, the things that are down below that, is that it kind of teaches you how to trade with the trend. If you're constantly YOLOing and getting breached, you would have lost a lot more money on a leverage exchange doing that than you will on breakout props. So that's kind of like, okay, I need to protect my downside. I need to only trade with the trend. I need to get out when things go against me. Those type of things are what I kind of refine my strategy. That's how I develop the scalping strategy, because it's like, man, one false move, I'm going to get breached. I can't, the main thing in trading is don't lose, and you'll eventually win. You bat singles, and then you eventually catch a home run. Remember, small wins, small losses, small wins, small losses, and then boom, you catch that big win, which is what happened on last Friday, the Friday before last. Everything collapsed, and I was there. I caught it because why? I was always protecting my downside. And you don't even trade perfectly every time, but I never catch a big-ass haymaker to the chin doing that. And eventually, you catch your haymaker to their chin, and you catch the waterfall. That's kind of the premise for me. That is my approach to trading. You know what I'm saying? Was like, man, all I got to do is not lose and I'll freaking win. I've never had death by 1,000 cuts. I've never been trading feed to getting breached. You get what I'm saying? This never happened to me before. Anytime I haven't been breached that many times, but anytime like some big move ever happened against my bankroll, it was because I held for too long, thinking something would reverse, or I kept averaging down, and then I hit the end sooner than I thought, or some shit like that. And I had some big-ass position. It was never that because I got in and out, which sucks when that happens. You're like in and out, and you're indecision, and all of a sudden, slippage and shit kind of is, taking a little bite out of your bankroll. But I've never gotten breached doing that. I've never blown up a bank account doing that. That's never happened to me. It sucks and it's annoying, but it's never killed me. What's killed me is when I held on to something too long. Yeah, the risk management is really important. Right? What killed me was when I tried to think I knew the top, and I was like, I promise it's going to turn. Hopium is what's killed me. I'll put it that way. Hope is not an investment strategy. I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times, and I think a lot of these KOLs are selling hopium. So I'm going to leave it there. You feel me? It's like, it's not about who's right, it's about who's left. Exactly. And I'd rather be rich than right, Matt. I'd rather be rich than right. And it is what it is. Real quick, before we get off of here, though, let's check out the scalp. This is kind of cool, too, when you go and breakout prop. It's showing you the per tick when you go to open, so you can kind of be more precise. Because I have the 1 minute, but this is the per tick once you go to open, just so you know. But here we go. So we're in the green right now. Let's look at it on TradingView real quick. What is Bitcoin doing? Remember, my stop loss is up here. So far, so good, right? I'm trading with the trend. I caught the quote-unquote top of the trend, at least of the 1 hour wave trend, coming back down. And, we don't have a 10-minute dot yet. Let's see, do we even have? We did have a little 5-minute, but it was short-lived. Turned red again. All right. And maybe we'll catch a flight here. Is this some sort of support resistance level here that I haven't marked? A little bit, just a little bit. It's a place where I could see price stop and think about things for a minute. You see what I'm looking at is these candles here. This is the 1 hour chart. Let's see, go back a little bit right here. Was this support? It was at the end of this support resistance. You could call that support resistance line. Let me look at, this is the FIMX one. Yeah, I have more lines on the FIMX one. So it makes sense that we're going to get a little stall here. If you look at the 1 minute chart, of course, it looks like, you know, we're bouncing off this little dip, right? Looking like trying to find a little bottom. I could take profit right here if I wanted to. You know, it wouldn't be much money, but you know, if I had a 10 times bigger position, this would be $160 instead of, let me show breakout prop, right? So on breakout prop, clearly you can see a little like dip, right? Like this is a little fake support and resistance just for the past 3 candles. Like this could be finding a bottom. You know, I'm gonna be honest, it could be finding a bottom. And if I took profit here, I'm up $16. If I had a 10 times bigger position, right? If I was using 21,000 instead of 2,100, that'd be $160. That's okay. I'm not mad at using a smaller position, but basically, you know, I'm not really afraid yet. Is what I'm getting at here. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at this. 5 minute caught a green dot, but then it turned red here. I'm trying to see if we get below this wick or not, right? So I would be watching this closely to see if I want to get out, if I see that a 10 minute is coming or a 5 minute. Remember, a 5 minute is going to come before a 10. So I don't really need to watch the 10 minute. I mean, glance at it, but I don't really need to watch it. It would be nice for what I'm trying to do is if we can make a new low, right? A lower low would be nice. But, you know, you got to take that in baby steps, right? So first, 3 minutes on a red dot, that's helpful. What about the 1 minute? So I can sit there and watch the 1 minute. We got a green dot on the 1 minute. How strong would this be? I mean, these are my thoughts as I'm sitting here trading, right? I'm looking at this. Really, you guys can't see because I have both, right? I'm looking at both. Okay, so the 1 minute wants to make a couple of moves. Again, 1 minute, it's going to give you false positives all over the place, so you can't really say anything. But what happens is when you start seeing a bottom here, that 1 minute is starting to look kind of strong now, right? So now we got a 3 minute green dot here. Now we're looking at I'm going to show you guys on this one here. Oh, now we got the 5 minute green dot. You know what I'm saying? So I could tell myself maybe I should get out and just take the green. You know what I mean? This is looking like a double green dot on the 5 minute. It's only a matter of time before a 10 minute green dot comes. And when a 10 minute green dot comes, I got to get out. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at 3 long wicks here. I could get out right now and take my little profit if I wanted to. You know, and but this 5 minute green dot and all these wicks make me think that this might be the bottom of for now. And you know, it wouldn't be a lot of profit, but I wouldn't have lost. You know what I'm saying? But the real strategy is don't try to fight a 10 minute. We can get out a little early, maybe if we want to. Let's see if it makes it above this wick, right? So if we'll look at breakout prop for a second. You guys can't see it. If it makes it above this high here, right? Will it make this new high here, or is it going to turn around and reverse right here? It looked like it might want to make this new high, but we're close. Hasn't happened yet. You can't see it, but I'm looking here. I'm looking at this here, right? So that's why I have these two. Looking at this here. Let's see what happens here. You know, trading can be boring, but you're scalping, you got to pay attention. Because I'm not even really setting a take profit. If I did, it'd be like somewhere way down. Because ain't no telling. If this is the beginning of the downward trend, ain't no telling. Like, we could go down a long ways. So why take profit too early? Basically, my strategy on the scalping is you take what the market gives you. Okay? Take what the market gives you. If it's giving you, okay, so now it's not looking so hot, right? Hold on. It's going against me. I still don't have a 10-minute dot. Let's see here. Remember, I didn't catch a perfect entry because I was doing a show here. Didn't catch a perfect entry. Let's see. In all honesty, probably want to get out of this trade. I mean, I'm green technically. Not by very much, man. $5 in front of shit. But the point is I didn't lose, right? Because we were trying to play if this is going to be the top of this trend. Now, I will say this. You know, looking at the 1 hour, now we do have it on Bitstamp. This is the spot. We do have a 1 hour here, red dot. So the 1 hour trend's at my side. But if the 10 minute pumps too much, the 10 minute could pump this above this high here. I don't want it. Why am I going to wait for my stop loss to get hit? Fuck that. Get out. And then I'll wait. I will wait to re-enter. I'm not sure if I will today, but I would wait to re-enter on the next 10-minute red dot. You see what I'm saying? Or at least the 5. I'd wait until that trend started to roll over and come back again. So let's see. We're still waiting. Phantom, I hope you're watching because you wanted to see the scalping strategy. So I'm going to put him in I'm going to tell him out here. Let me do something real quick. At Phantom, I am... I told him I'm scalping live, so I hope you're watching. Okay, so it looked like it went my way for a second here. Oh, you guys can't see that. I should put Bitcoin over here. What am I doing here? Since I'm trading Bitcoin. Let's do it here. Put something else over here. Okay, so here we are. So here we are here, right? Give me that little give back. 3 minutes still has a green dot. I'm looking at market cipher B right now. This is the 1 minute trying to roll over again. 1 minute don't really mean shit. But 3 minutes. Now when I see, to me, like I said, this kind of was looking like a bottom here, right? Trying to find a bottom. But it might be a bottom like just temporarily. You know what I'm saying? And again, look at this too. Look at this. See, Ethereum was weaker than Bitcoin. I should have shorted. Kalichi was out there. Or somebody asked me, he's like, why the hell are you shorting Bitcoin? Exactly. I shouldn't have shorted Bitcoin. I should have been shorting one of these shit coins, right? That's the whole point. I'm glad we did this. It's better to short weakness. Bitcoin is not weak this cycle. Short one of these shit coins. Look at Ethereum. I should have shorted Ethereum. You know what I'm saying? I'd be even greener on Ethereum. Ethereum's clearly weaker than Bitcoin, right? Why am I shorting Bitcoin? I should have shorted this. And even when Bitcoin price is going up, Ethereum is lagging, right? It's down here. You see what I'm saying? That would be here if this was Bitcoin. So I'd be making more money. Yep, you already noticed. Exactly. But you know what? It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not losing any money or anything here, but I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my system and my strategies get proven correct by doing the wrong thing. And you're like, see, you shouldn't have done that. You learn your lesson. You see what I'm saying? Like, you deserve to get smacked a little bit. You know what I mean? If you're going outside of strategy, trying to get cute or whatever, or trading too fast in haste, right? I jumped into this too fast. I didn't get to do my full analysis because I was warming up the show, right? But if I wasn't doing a show, I would have been like, okay, no, not this. What I would have done was I would have gone to my list. Say, right? And a lot of times I'll have the tickers already on the screen on breakout prop break. I'll have the other charts up here with them already filled in. I had STX up here. I had something. Let's see what I had. STX here. STX and TON coin. Some, you know, this shit is bearish as hell. You know what I'm saying? What was TON was up here. I'll already have them ready if I know that what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's nothing major. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big difference right now. This is mostly sideways weekend. I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear the music in the background, but I got the sitting sideways beat in the background because the market's been trading sideways. You feel me? See, I had this in the background this whole time. So basically, I'm looking for something better. So I would have done. If I have to act fast, right? I go to the Discord and I say, well, what the hell has been recently bearish? And I'll just come up. I want to short all of a sudden. What do I want to? I'm gonna come up here and go to, okay, what are the bearish tickers? Because I already wrote this down. Hype had been bearish. AVAX had been bearish. DOT had been bearish. Peanut, Moondeg. You see what I'm saying? So I could look over here on my chart. You know, I double check it, of course. But I would have seen over here what's been recently bearish. Let's see what Hype and some of these other ones have been doing. Hype getting a little pump. But where was its 1 hour red dot? When did that start? That started way back here. So then if we had done the 10-minute strategy on Hype, let's see real quick. The 1 hour on Hype, this would have been the ticker to short, I think. Here, hold on a second. Hype, its 1 hour red dot came here at 9 a.m. If we had done the 10-minute, let's see where 9 a.m. is. 9 a.m. is here. So it was right here, right? We wouldn't have even traded yet. This green dot came. Look how big that moves on a green dot, right? But then the red dot came here. So again, we don't know. I don't know exactly where this dot came up, when it first appeared, somewhere on this candle. Green dot here would have got out again, and then boom. So Hype, if we had shorted Hype on this dot somewhere on this candle, we would have rode it all the way down to here. Let's say we even get the green dot here. We get out, we would have made some money from about here, somewhere here to somewhere here. Now it would have been a win. You see what I'm saying? So Hype probably would have been a nice one to short. So what else was on the list? Hype, Peanut. It was Hype, Dot mostly sideways, and then of course the old Peanut and Moondeg. God, there's down so much, you know. It's just, that's what I'm saying. I don't have high conviction this week. I kind of knew when I called it. I said I probably have sideways action this week. Everything crashed so hard last Friday. I don't have any real high conviction plays. I'm gonna scalp and take profits quick because ain't no telling. We're doing a lot of chopping. It turns out that was right. That was exactly what happened. Here's Bitcoin. You know, on the 8 hour, there was a lot of chop this week, you know. Went up, came down here. Certainly in the NASDAQ, there's some volatility, but it pretty much ended flat, right? This is when this opened Monday, and look, it ended pretty much where it opened on Monday. And, you know, basically the point is I was trying to see before I do any swing trading what trends going on. Remember, we're still on the weekend right now, so this whole pump might be fake.
And, of course, it's pretty much sideways chop, though, you could say, from a week ago, right? This wick here is bouncing off of here. But, yeah, Bitcoin, this actually is, when I look at it on the 8-hour, this actually is the line of support and resistance right here, where I have my stop loss. Right here. So that's not, my entry was not bad. At just longer term, as I look at this could turn into, it already turned into this. This turns into a 1-hour green dot. We're going to see some bullish. And it's okay if we get a little green bounce. I don't anticipate us jumping back. I don't anticipate this move. Oh, and I need to say this, right? Because the 2-day still facing down. The 3-day still facing. We got red dots in all these. The last dot you see in all these is a red dot. 4-day facing down. The weekly got a red dot now. The 2-week still has a red dot from back here. And, of course, the big dog, the monthly. The monthly is going to call the top of like a months-long cycle. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean price can't go against it all, but it wasn't enough to turn the actual momentum up on the monthly. It turned out that this is just one big, gigantic scam wick. You see what I mean? And that's why I can't be bullish right now. I just can't be. Not yet. I will say this, a 1 gray green dot can turn into a 2 dot like here, and a 3 dot and 4. Before you know it, it can happen. But I don't really know. You need some kind of news or some other additional catalyst to make it give you this candle. These candles are not that common to the upside, right? Not that many. To finish to this many green days in a row, that's just not that likely. And so many people got crushed right here. At some point, just crushes the will of the retail crypto trader or whoever might pump this. And sometimes enough is enough. You know what I mean? And this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still at 108,000. The shit coins got hammered. You know what I mean? So I still don't buy Total 3 being real anymore, by the way. I called this out in the group here. What the hell makes up Total 3? Because there's a chart I reposted on Twitter that shows how bad altcoins are down since last cycle. And it's bad. Okay, it's real freaking bad. I'm going to try to find it. At all of the top 50 altcoins from 2021, how bad they're down right now, they're below FTX levels. Below when FTX collapsed levels. That's the price of them right now, right? That's all those, Polkadot and all those, my favorite one, Algorand, all the ones we loved back then, utility coins. They are crushed right now. And it's just kind of like, man, I guess maybe I didn't repost the actual chart. I thought I did. I'm looking at my Twitter right now. I guess I didn't repost it. I never did. You'll probably see it on Twitter. I've seen a lot of people repost it. But basically, it's showing how bad they're down. And I'm like, if those are down that bad, then how the fuck is Total 3 up here? I don't know really what tickers make up some of this shit. And so, when your KOLs are quoting these charts that you never heard of or never seen before or never studied yourself, you kind of got to be skeptical of that shit. You know what I mean? Just ask yourself for show, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. Again, I'm not in the business of trying to call out every one of my KOL friends for every time they make a wrong prediction on Twitter, but they're not always right. And if you blindly follow them, you guys, you will get burned. So develop your own trading strategy. I'm not even telling you to blindly follow me, but at least if you join the Profit Circle, you can see what I'm talking about in real time. And if you notice, I don't make big price predictions or prognostications about what's going to happen. I have my bold predictions channel. So in the Profit Circle, right, we got the bold predictions channel. If you got a bold prediction and maybe you don't have the perfect analysis to explain why, we had one guy in the group. He said that he thought ETH was going to 5,300 or whatever, and I said why? Can you show me how we get there? And he's like, well, Ben Cohen says. Well, to me that I watch Ben Cohen too. Been watching him for a while. I don't understand. He hasn't been able to explain to me how he gets there. That being said, I still want you to put in your bold prediction in the bold predictions category here. Where's the bold predictions channel? Put it in here. And if your bold prediction comes out correct, I will gladly give you a shout out on all of my social media platforms. Okay. So we can work. And me's got some predictions in there. I had some predictions in there. Go ahead, put it in bold prediction. Means something that'll happen, I don't know, 6 months away, or some price that seems astronomical or whatever. Put it in there. You know what I'm saying? And then, we'll check it in 5 months or whatever, or if it hits sooner than that. And I'll say, hey, so-and-so was Nostradamus on this one. Have some fun with it. You know what I mean? Put it in there. We got our wins channel. Blueberry hitting this big one here. This is money, man. He getting that money, man. 20K on this one. Another 16. Another 11. He was short. He was right. And good for him, right? And he's in here. This is the same guy giving you the game. You can trade just like him if you want to. So we got our wins channel. I'm posting my wins here. some breakout prop, some here on FimX and shit right here. I think that was some of the Blockchain Cowboy. Here's one of my Giga shorts. I'm keeping this shit open forever until they delist it. I'm up 5,000%. Yeah, that was real. And that's because I shorted these back in like December or whatever of way back in December of 2020 of last year after the election. And I knew these meme coins were full of shit and all these ridiculous coins were so weak. And again, all I did was the same strategy I'm doing now as far as determining what got over its skis and then what was underperforming when Bitcoin would continue to pump. And then those ones, like, they ran out of buyers is honestly what happened, you know? And that's how I found Moondeg and Peanut and all these ones that are like, you know, if you're going to short something, you might as well short one that is the name of a dead squirrel or a fake hippo. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're going to the moon, all right. So anyways, you know, we're wrapping this up here. And as I look, I'm starting to win here. Time's on my side, apparently. This is my biggest point yet here, right? Or not quite. When did I enter? I entered here on this red triangle. Yeah, we keep bouncing off this support here. So the question is, will we break through? Right? Got the wind in my back, but let me see. Let's take a look real quick. Let's take a look. The 10-minute doesn't have a green dot yet. I was doing it on this one. No green dot yet on the 10-minute. Let's see what the 5-minute looks like real quick. Got another red dot on the 5-minute. So it's doing this Christmas tree lights. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put on tree. It's doing these Christmas tree lights on the 5-minute. Thanks for Matt for that one. Christmas tree lights in the 5-minute. Yeah, it is a dead squirrel though. You know. So we got our Christmas tree lights here in the 5-minute. So that means this trend continues. But what does that mean if the trend's been going sideways? Just more sideways? I would say, I mean, here's the thing. I'm erring on the side of going down because of the fact that the 1 hour is red, right? I'm honoring this 1 hour red dot for now, right? That's what I'm honoring. And a 10-minute has not given me a green, so I'm honoring the 10-minute. And that's what I mean by the false. The reason why I can't trade off this 5-minute, because I'd be in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And you will start getting hit by those trading fees. So even though we had 4 or 5 in-outs right now, we got a green dot again on this one, we don't have one here. So, you know, that would eat you. That would start to eat you if I had gotten in and out 4 or 5 times, which is how I personally landed on the 10-minute. You know, and maybe, again, doesn't mean I shouldn't get out right now and take my profit and jump out. Maybe it will bounce. But it means, you know, I didn't have to get spooked on the first one. You know what I'm saying? Is this finding a bottom? Yeah, I mean, based upon my intuition and just me knowing trading, you know, this is probably finding a bottom for now. I'd probably be safe getting out. And then this is what will probably happen. Let's see. This is what will probably happen, right? I'll draw it on here. Why not? It'll probably do a little bit up and then come back down again. You know, I'm not exactly on scale here, but the idea is to come up here and, you know, hopefully enter somewhere here, right? This will do one of these like this, and then, you know, and then we'll enter somewhere here. It's probably, you know, I'd re-enter. I should say I'd get out, take my profit here. My little profit ain't much, but then I'd re-enter here. Same position size, nothing crazy. And reposition, and then that 1 hour, this 1 hour would continue down for me. It'd make the move for me. Again, it's the weekend. Weekends are a little bit wonky, but probably Bitcoin is the most stable on the weekends. The altcoins that do crazy shit on the weekends, right? Let's see. I think somebody said something in the group here. He's watching now. Shout out Rushgo X. He's watching now. And I'm wrapping up here, but maybe he's watching from the beginning. It's all good. That's what we're looking at, though. I mean, you know, I could sit here and we could let this shit play. I got to go meet up with a nice young chick. Let's see what she's talking about here in a minute. But that's what I'm looking for. I mean, I got a green dot on the 5-minute. So basically, that's telling me that I have to have my finger on the trigger, right? I got to be ready to jump out on breakout prop, you know, over here. I got to be ready. If we got a green, here, I'll show them this one. If you got a green dot here, right here, on the 5-minute, then on the 10-minute, I gotta get out. You feel me? I'm gonna have to get out. So this is it right here. Excuse me. It's this one right here. It's this one right here. Here's Bitcoin. And we're looking. He ain't felt that play. Matt, play in the house. But look at this sideways. I hate sitting through sideways action. Give me some moves, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me some moves. I could take my little $11 profit. It ain't nothing, but it's not a loss. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, the most important thing is don't lose. Don't go down with a sinking ship. Trade with the trend. Here's the thing. This bounce would have been bigger if we didn't have a 1 hour red dot. And that's the cold truth. This 1 hour red dot is why this bounce didn't come punch me in the face. Why it's sideways. Why I'm just a little bit green instead of red. I'd rather be a little bit green than a whole lot of red. You feel me? So
That's why we trade with the trend. And I promise you, the only times I lose money is when I get off the system. It's always my own fault. Like, I've traded long enough to know what the right thing to do is. Anytime I lose money, it's on me. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't know, or crypto does weird things. No, it's on me. I done seen it all before. That crazy ass waterfall last Friday. Yeah, CZ's done it before. Sam Bankman-Fried has done it before. Whoever you want to Celsius has done it before. Terra Luna's done it before. I seen the stamped stock market. You guys don't really notice, and I don't talk about it enough. I honestly probably should. I have a lot of experience trading stocks. Okay? I didn't have a private group then. I traded in a group with big time, long term people who've been trading stocks since the late 90s. I'm talking OGs. These guys are bankers and shit. Hedge fund guys and shit. I kind of got lucky to even get in their crew, and to get in their circle. They taught me the game, and even the way I knew they were solid, because at first I didn't know when I say trading with them, I mean like we're literally in the same positions, but they got like 7 figures and I had 6 figures on trades. Okay, I don't even like trading that big anymore, but I had, not exaggerating, we would have 6 figures on trades, and they would have 7 figures. And at first I had to make sure this guy wasn't scamming me, because we're buying some small shit coin or whatever, not a shit coin, but it's a stock. And the guy's got enough money to buy the whole float. And he's like, this is what would happen. If you trade stocks, right, we're looking at the order book. And this is when every day he would talk about the shorts. He hates shorts, right? That's probably why he don't trade with me now, because I'm always shorting. He hates shorts. It's still my dog, though. He texts me all the time. He's been in the precious metals. He's been winning. But basically what happens is when you see the order book, if you guys have ever watched an order book, it's like a battlefront. It's like on a line. So the day starts, right? Because it's a stock market. And this has brought me back to the Wile E. Coyote shit. Remember when Wile E. Coyote was trying to steal the sheepdogs, and there was the sheepdog herder, steal the sheep, and then the sheepdog herder, and they would clock in and clock out at the end of the day? That's basically what we were doing with stocks, right? So you got the pre-market at 6 a.m., and then 6:30 the market opens, and then you go, right? So we're looking at the pre-market order book, and then right at 6:30, then you'd see the order book right when it opens. And the short would come in and put up their walls up here, and then he would put up his wall down here, and then in between the no man's land is where we would trade. And it was like a guarantee that price wouldn't go below this wall or above that wall unless somebody busted through. And if they busted through, that is what would cause a move that looks like one of these candles, except maybe on a bigger time frame. Something like this would happen, because this wall would get broke through, and then everything on the rest of the order book would be like would get bought up hella quick. And then if you're going long and it broke through their wall, you would take profit. If the shit broke through your wall, you had to figure out what the hell you was going to do. You're going to take a stop loss, get out of, you know what I'm saying? You had to figure it out. But to me, to this day, even that's how I could like literally visualize how longs and shorts go to war when they're trading. And so that's why when people have all this moon boy talk, like I know the mechanics of the market, like what makes a ticker actually move. It's buyers and sellers on any given day at any given moment. The fundamentals of shit don't matter. If you notice, they always do the earnings after the call, right? After the bell closes. So when it's in a liquid market is when they have the algorithms, the cheaters and the market makers and, all the manipulators, the earnings say this, and the computer automatically just buys whatever because it hit EPS or missed it, and then we're waiting on the call, and then it drops it or whatever. Like that all happens after hours, okay? But anytime like during the day, fundamentals are not moving the price. It's just buyers versus sellers. That's it. So like, maybe when Reddit came along or whatever, you can cause these kind of short squeezes to break through those walls, and they do the ole, and then price just shoots straight up because the shorts are like, why am I going to step in front of this? They're going to wait for that momentum to slide down, and then they're going to die down, and then they're going to draw their walls again, and then they're going to start trying to short it. and that's what happens. So, like, the moon boy shit don't mean as much to me. I did drink the crypto Kool-Aid when I first got into crypto, because remember I was in stocks before. But this is when I learned, like, fundamentals don't matter. And Dogecoin, the reason why I have this Dogecoin poll, in fact, we're in that poll right now. Dogecoin poll. Let's end the poll here. What does it say? Come on, poll. Dogecoin. 64% still thinks Dogecoin is going to $1. Well, God bless you, because I don't. 36% says no. I don't really know if you guys know how Dogecoin works, the tokenomics, they're printing 10,000 new Dogecoins every single day. It was invented as a joke. So, like, time is not on your side. Let me put it to you that way. If there's no inflation, it probably would already hit $1, but it's got the worst inflation ever. That was the point of it. So, it going to $1 is like, if altcoin season ain't happening, then it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen next cycle. So anyways, that's my thought on Dogecoin. But my point is, fundamentals prove to me they don't matter because of Dogecoin, because of meme coins, because of meme stocks. If fundamentals mattered, then basically we would be able to predict price. And we wouldn't have seen all these crazy moves in 2021 of these stocks that went to all-time highs, these software stocks that shot ridiculously high and dropped all the way down and are doing nothing right now. I mean, even real companies, PayPal and Asana, these companies shot up so crazy. They're real companies. And they still crashed like crazy and never recovered. Well, what the hell do you think a crypto coin, meme coin, is going to do? You don't even have any earnings or any real money flowing into it. It's just traders. So that's why I say, I posted this shit on Twitter this morning. Maybe I'll show it here. He's like, what's going up in here? I ain't want to duck and fear. You want to trade memes? Fine. In here, hold my fucking beer. Long-term utility, they stay fading. So fuck it. Making a living off day trading. Because the fundamentals don't matter. We got to look at the technicals. We just going to trade. We're going to get in and out. We're going to stack these wins. And we're not going to go down with a sinking ship. And I'm not going to try to invest off hopium. Hopium is not an investment strategy. It's just not. So, I think people are realizing that next week. Be on the lookout for that music video, Crashing Waves. It's going to be the one, And, we can sit here. Okay, look, we got the 10-minute now. Look, we got the 10-minute here. So I'm going to just get on out of it. Why not? I take my little green. Here, let me show a breakout prop. I won the trade. And look, it'll probably roll over right when I get out. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably roll over right when I get out. But I'm still trying to work the system. Let's see. Oh, it did. It changed. Hold on. It changed. The dot disappeared. I'm not getting out yet. So, I mean, if this was a system, it would have got me out, but it would have got me back in as soon as the dot disappeared. So that's actually the system. If the dot disappears, you are supposed to get back in because that means there's no longer a green dot stopping you. So because you can't wait till the next dot because the next dot won't come until the whole cycle goes through again. So, I waited. It took less than a minute, but it did flash on this candle and it came back out again. So I'm still in the trade right now. Still in it on breakout prop over here. Still in it right here. It's really kicking around down here, but the momentum to the downside has slowed to stop, right? And that was what this wave is doing. Now, can it turn around and break through that? It's possible. It's possible. Look, on the 1 minute, I'm sure we got a red dot, right? We got a red dot on the 1 minute. Oh, shit on this. On the red dot, we do got a 1 minute here. I'm looking down at the bottom here on Market Cipher B. It's kind of hard to get two mouses. Market Cipher B, but this is going down. So, and then you see we got a couple big red candles here, which is helpful. But let's see, can we break below this? That's really what I'd want to see. Would be nice if we can break below this resistance. If we break, or support, if we break below this support, then, let's see where we might go down to. We probably at least go down to here, maybe. I'm looking at trading view. I'm looking at trading view. If we break below where we are right now, our next stop is probably right here, right? This is, if I was drawing support and resistance on the 1 minute, which is a little bit ridiculous, of course. I make them white, but I would put it here like this because I'm looking at this move right here, but I'm also looking at this peak right here, right? That's kind of what I'm looking at as the next little line of support and resistance. But look, this resistance is holding. Support is holding right here. Again, it's a 1 minute chart, but it's like, clearly this is some flat bottom here. This is starting to still go up when this is the 5 minute. Here's a 10 minute trying to end. I'm hoping this will come, it is what it is. Maybe that was my last chance to get out. Maybe I should have taken my little green when it went in that my direction, but that's okay. We still wait. I'm looking at this here, but I'm mostly looking at this here. This is what I'm looking at here. Let's see. This has it flashed green. So this tells me this. I know that if we look at both of them, I know that this will turn green if price, now looking at breakout, breaks above this, right? Like above this wick, for sure it'll be green. It don't want to. It doesn't want to. It really does not want to go higher. It wants to go lower, but we're stuck in no man's land for right now. So one could, in theory, set your take profit right here. I like to do it manually. You could set your stop loss, I should say, in the profit, right? I could go like this. I could do that when my break even is less than $1 here. I have to keep making this go down. I could make it down here. I don't usually do that. I would usually do it manually, but you could say, well, look, like I want to win this trade. I don't want to lose it. And if it decides to go higher, then just exit and give me my money. You know what I'm saying? You could say that if you wanted to.
I'm screwing around breakout prop. Let me show you I'm doing breakout prop right here. So if we went down to here, I could move this right to the money just below it like so. It don't even give me no. It gives me no. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not going to show. I apologize. It's not going to show because it's in profit. It always says zeros when you put a stop loss in profit. I forgot about that. So the way you check it is you would copy this number and you would just put it here. We're not going to press OK. And we'll say that would make me the $2.59. Okay. I don't want to say that though because I think it'll trigger. It'll automatically trigger. So I'll just be moving my stop loss to down there. To somewhere in profit, basically, to say, look, if you're going to break above this, I know, because I just saw it, I know that would equal a green dot, in which case, why, if it happens too fast, why take the loss and count on my finger to hit it? Let's just make sure we have this stop loss here to say, if it does go there, at least I don't lose the trade. Worst case scenario, I'm a winner. So, and if I'm still trading with the trend, this breaks down, then okay. Then I didn't lose. I keep on winning. But, the main thing is I got the 1 hour at my back. That's the main thing. That's why I have this strategies, because the larger time frame has your back. Right here, this 1 hour. Rolling over, going down. Let's see what the 2 hours looking like right now, actually. 2 hours trying to be in my favor, too. Let me get rid of these little lines here just because they mess with me. You can change this. If you guys didn't know this, by the way, if you double click on this, the visibility, I could turn them off on the hourly. You know what I'm saying? I could just make these say only show them on the 1 hour or whatever. I could do that so it's not like in my way. So they show on the 1 hour. You see it here. If I go to 2 hour, it disappears. You see that one? It was only the circle one that remains. You could do that if you wanted to. I don't like doing that only because it keeps it there. See, it's going to keep them there, and I might forget that that's like that, and then even this here, right? Because he was defaulted to whatever was your last one, and you're like, how come I can't see my lines? And you forgot that you changed the visibility. So anyway, I don't really need them, so I'm gonna delete them. Come on. But I just wanted to see. I was trying to see if the larger time frames are starting to roll over. They're not. It takes a long time, you guys. Like, it takes hours for a 2 hour to roll over. You know what I'm saying? The last time we had a 2 hour red dot was yesterday at 2100. You know what I'm saying? The last time we had a green dot was at 1 a.m. So, we've already gone over 12 hours, to even get, we don't even have a 2 hour dot yet here. Now, is it coming? I think so. As I look at this, I see two long ass wicks. If you look at a Heikinashi, things start to slow down. A 2 hour still shows bullish, but you start to see the first downtrend here with no higher wick on the Heikinashi. That's kind of one of the ways you look at it. There's different strategies on how you trade on Heikinashi. I personally don't use them because I'm pretty precise, but I do like to look at them. Like, I don't trade right off of them, but they help you trade with the trend. They're legitness. CryptoFace put me on the Heikinashi. And I see why people use them. Blueberry uses them. A lot of people use them. I mean, they're better for swing trading than, like, scalping, to be honest with you. Because you're trying to be precise on scalping. I'm trying to enter on scam wicks and shit, so it's kind of hard. But this is clearly starting to roll over on the 1 hour. The thing is, they're an average of the previous candles is like a formula. So, you're going to have everything happen later on a Heikinashi. So under this one, you see we got two red candles showing a Heikinashi. We only got one. That's basically just how it works. So, but the Heikinashi is cool because if you're trading with a trend, it means you're inevitably a little bit late. And in reality, it's better to be late than early. My crime, the thing that I do wrong the most is I'm too early. I see a move coming and I get in too early. The way I've gotten good at negating that is I watch my position sizing. So if I went in too early and then something wants to shoot up, like I got a tight stop loss, I don't lose that much money. And then if I'm going to go back in, like I know this going into it. Okay, maybe I'm too early. I know that I'm going to use a bigger position size that's been predetermined, or I'm going to do the same position sizing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've already predetermined, okay, that's how I'm going to trade this if I'm going in too early. But usually it's better to be late than early, to be honest. It's better safe than sorry, is because then you're trading with the trend. Whereas trying to call tops is hard. But man, I called the freaking top on that last Monday, not this Monday that passed, the one before. Bitcoin's at its all-time high, and then we had the waterfall on Friday. You feel me? Blockchain Cowboys is, that's what you're saying. Oh, yeah, all set in the house. What's going on, all set? And Blockchain Cowboy, okay, that literally just what I was saying to myself. What were you saying, Blockchain Cowboy? Trade with the trade, rather be late than early? Printing, boys, yeah. I mean, I'm green on my trade right now. I don't know about printing. I'm up $14. It ain't that much, but technically I'm winning. Okay, but here's a good sign. I caught my red dot on the 5 minute. I did catch that. Price is still sideways, though, to be honest with you. And like Matt said, the Christmas tree just means trend continues, which is true. Trends continue. So this is the thing though, right? So, okay, but what does that mean as far as the waves go? Just because I have so much experience staring at these freaking waves all the time. It's actually better. Check this out. And think about this logically. It makes sense. In Blockchain Cowboy, you look at Market Cypher B a lot, same as me. So I want to call this one out to you. My quote-unquote intuition is not really intuition. What I'm usually looking at, if I see a wave going like this, but price is going flat, or vice versa, the wave is coming down, but price is going flat, the trend will usually probably continue back down. What I mean is this wave going up, you're like, well, shit, some sort of a div or something. This should eventually go up, but that's actually not usually what happens. What usually happens is this wave goes like this and rolls over like this, and this flat goes flat and then comes down like that. That's usually what happens. Now, it's only a 5-minute time frame, so not that crazy. But when I'm looking at an 8-hour, 12-hour, anything bigger too, that same thing happens. You see price going flat, but your wave going down. You're like, well, hold on. This should roll over. And sometimes it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. A lot of times it does your Christmas tree, and then this comes like this, and then this is flat, and then it comes like this. You're like, well, oh shit, I thought this was going to go up. And it doesn't happen. I'm telling you, it's a weird thing because you think this is like this, but that's where the other time frame come in. You look at this, you're like, oh shit, but look, the 10-minute is not doing that. The 10-minute is pointing down still. That's why I'm not scared. That's why I'm still bearish. That's why I'm still green on my freaking trade right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't panic. On all of these, I didn't panic. Now, granted, we still haven't broken below here. It would be nice. It sure would be nice. But I'm confident that if we do break above here, I'm invalidated and I get out and I don't lose any money on the trade. And I didn't lose. As long as you don't lose, you're going to win. So it's a weird, I'm just telling you, some of this is just blatant experience, bro. I've stared at Market Cypher B so damn much. But these waves don't lie when you look at all the time frames, right? So everything's coming down. So here's the thing, right? You know pretty much that if you've got a red dot on the 1 hour, then you're going to have one on the 45-minute and on the 30-minute and on the 24-minute and on the 20-minute and on the 15-minute and on the 10 and 12-minute and the 10-minute, right? Like this is until, eventually you're going to go small enough. You're like, oh, we actually got some here, right? But that, that everything below this. So like what I'm really waiting on is a 2-hour red dot. That would be nice. If this was a swing, if I'm doing the scalping strategy, so I don't need a 2-hour red dot, you know what I'm saying? But like if that were to happen, I feel really, really good about it. You know what I'm saying? Everything speaks. That's why I listen to each bar on the chart and on your lyrics. And Matt, I swear to God, you know what, Matt? I was watching an interview with 50 Cent yesterday, the day before, and you know how they be doing the AI to remake the old songs into the new songs? And they're interviewing him, and they're like, 50 Cent, I see you reposted all of your old songs, all the AI versions where it's like a 1950s guy singing the rap songs in the club and shit, right? And he's like, I'm not mad at it that they remade it. He said, I like it because it kind of shows the lyrics better for people who maybe they were just dancing and weren't really paying attention to what I was saying. They got these singers singing them kind of slower, and then people actually get to hear the words maybe. He's like, it kind of gives people a second perspective on my lyrics. And he had to say that because he knows not everybody listens to the lyrics. But you listen to lyrics. Matt be quoting lyrics. He quote my lyrics, other rap lyrics on Twitter and shit, and he don't even be telling the world. You just see who picks up on it. So I know he listens to lyrics. And so I appreciate it because all of my songs, the lyrics mean something. Okay, there's a message in all my tracks. I be keeping it 1,000. You feel me? So I appreciate people who appreciate the lyrics. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh, I know Blockchain Cowboy. Some of those old songs that sound hella tight. Lyrics mean there. Digital Hus in the house. What's going on, man? Yeah, the lyrics be the real thing. If you guys don't know, I'll give you a little bit. Anybody who stuck with me this long in the stream, we over an hour and 42 minutes. If you ever want to look up old Cassius Cuvée shit, my old stage name was Ridiculous Lyrics. So you know I've always been about lyrics. So if you ever look up some old Riddick on YouTube and shit, you're going to find some old shit that I don't ever really post that often. And you're going to find shit Pro Official. I'm not wearing my Pro Official chain, but that was my old shit. Because my old Instagram was Mr. Pro Official. And you're going to hear I've always been about the lyrics. So for me, I'm a reality rapper. I'm rapping about what's going on in my life. I'm telling the stories and the shit that I'm really learning. And when I got into crypto and trading and stuff, when I made, this is before crypto, actually, when I was trading stocks, I made the song Spac Dream that got me on CNBC and the cover of the Wall Street Journal and that shit because my lyrics is really talking about what I'm experiencing, which is everything we trade and everything I'm learning about the stock market and about SPACs and who I'm learning it from. Getting everybody a shout out on Twitter, who I got the game from, and on CNBC and shit. And, I'm always give credit to the people who helped me make money. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I give a shout out to the Profit Circle. We all helping everybody, each other get money in there. So shout out to T Teaser. I think I mentioned him. Working Me, Crypto Princess is up in there. Cassie, a couple females. Dane joined, Dane DeForest. We got Bank Cali, Colo, Moretto, J Money, Money Mike, Phantom. Obviously, Blueberry, Blockchain Cowboy doing their thing, King Jackpot, and Rush Go X. Appreciate you guys in the Profit Circle. Keep being active in there because whoever gets the most high levels, I'll probably do this. I'll probably give out 10 lifetime subscriptions for free. Lifetime. This is what we'll do. I've thought of it just now. This is what I'll do. In the Discord, the Profit Circle Discord, over here, I mentioned this earlier. Since I've been on here for a while, I'll mention it one more time. There's levels. It's levels to the shit. But no, there's levels over here, and it keeps track. The bots keep track of what levels everybody's at. The more you talk, you see you level up. King Jackpot, level 8. Crypto Princess, level 1. She just got started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go. First, I was saying anybody of a certain level is going to get a lifetime subscription. What I'll do is I'll just say the top 10 people, by the end of the year, will get a free lifetime subscription. You feel me? And then because everybody who got in there got in on the 1 year free. But the end of this month, I'm doing it's just going to be 1 month free. But the levels is how I keep tracking. All you got to do to level up is just stay active. That's it. Stay active. Now, I appreciate it if you actually give trade setups and stuff like that. You can put them in the future trades like Blueberry does all the time. Oh, let me know. Not everybody has access to posting here. I forgot about that. If you got trade setups for now, just put them in the general chat. Okay? No problem. And then, if you're consistent with it, I'll give you access to I'm not the best at Discord. I got the admin back. But I'll give you access to this channel. I gave somebody access to posting here. Well, I got Blockchain Cowboy in there. It was somebody else, too, to post the future trades. These are the people who really be, the real verified wave makers who give them shout out. So they're either future trades or general chat. Put in your setups, no problem. And then I'll find a way to get you in the future trade setup. So that way, I think it was Rush Go. I got him in there. So any call outs, I just try to keep it clean. So this one's not open to just anybody. This one is just the people who got trade setups. And then what happens is we got trade set up here, and then we'll discuss it over here in the market analysis. And so what Blueberry does, because he's sharp, I didn't even tell him to do this, he just did it on his own. He's like, look, this is what he'll do. He'll post a trade setup here in the general chat, which anybody has access to this. Let me find one. We can discuss whatever in the general chat. He'll post a trade setup in here, but he won't say what ticker it is. So he'll post it. We're going ham on the weekend. He'll post stuff in here, and then what happens is, if you want to see what ticker it is, so like a new setup right here. So new setup on the way. So this ticker, you can't see what it is in the general chat. You got to be a verified wave maker. But then once you come over here, not everybody has access to this, not until you get verified, and then you get to see what ticker it is. You'll say it up here. See what I'm saying? So he's on Pizzling. He's on his job. Appreciate him for the show. And then I'm gonna start. I gotta do more giveaway stuff, but for now, that's the giveaway. Is the you level up, then we give you a free lifetime subscription here. All right, Bitcoin's going against me. This support and resistance line is proving to be strong. What do we got? We got a bullish and both engulfing candle. Not quite. Boy, this is. If we were looking at the order book, you would see the bears the bulls and the bears, the longs and the shorts, like fighting each other right here in no man's land. You would see it. Let's look over here at breakout prop. On breakout prop, you see Ethereum try to have a bounce. Bitcoin not as volatile. Is that a head fake, or is that just one more zigzag on a Sunday where nobody knows what to do? And that's pretty much it for today, guys. You know what I'm saying? I got to go holler at this little chick, see what's up with her. But for now, we're gonna wrap this one up. I'm going to leave this trade open. Look, I'm going to just leave this stop loss here, all right? I'm going to leave it open, and I will update you guys in the Profit Circle, and we'll see if we go to the moon or not. We'll see if we go to the moon, and we do a Wile E. Coyote. Things don't look good long term, I'm going to tell you that, guys, right now. That red dot on the monthly is no joke. No joke. If you're new to Breakout Prop, though, check out these two videos. I really do think they're helpful. If you're just trying to navigate the platform, there's a lot more videos on my YouTube channel. The ones that have this orange writing like this, all these are kind of like just like basics on how to navigate the platform. But more strategy is more these. This one explains the 5x leverage. I've never seen a video that explained it so well, because I actually show it on FIMX and stuff, like the difference in the mathematics of the money. And then here's three, like, these are really just kind of strategic things to make sure that you can pass that evaluation. So, share that out there. Please like the stream, share it with some friends,
retweet it or whatever, man. Twitter don't be showing me no damn love, so retweet it on there if you can. But appreciate everybody joining the chat. We got all set going ham. Matt, Blockchain Cowboy, Digital Huss, everybody else who was up in here. We got to do some real scalping here on the thing. Pretty much it, man. That's to come up with your boy Cassius Cuvée and a Sunday Fun Day. I'll be here same time next Sunday, every Sunday. Quick shout out to my man Loudmouth. We're going to be filming a music video in Miami during Art Basel, so be on the lookout for that song. But first, Crashing Waves music video. I'm going to be premiering it next week right here before the show here. So make sure you tap in with your boy Cassius Cuvée.